If you're watching this video hoping for a secret formula, a shortcut, a miracle, you won't find it here. Because the most dangerous financial problems don't look dramatic. They look normal. They look like a steady job, a regular routine, bills that get paid, barely, and a quiet voice inside your head that keeps asking, is this really all there is? This video is not about becoming rich fast. It is about understanding why so many hardworking people slowly fall behind, without ever realizing when it started. The story you're about to hear is not famous. There are no headlines, no overnight success, just a life that looks familiar, and that is exactly why it matters. If you've ever felt stuck despite doing your best, this story is already about you. From the outside, Daniel Carter looked like he was doing okay. He was in his mid-30s. He had a steady office job, a small apartment, a car that worked. Nothing impressive, nothing alarming. But every month, when the bills were paid and the notifications stopped buzzing, Daniel felt the same quiet panic. There was nothing left. No savings, no margin, no sense of direction. And the most frightening part wasn't the lack of money. It was the feeling that time was passing and nothing was changing. This is the kind of story almost no one tells, because it doesn't look dramatic, but it quietly describes millions of lives. And this is where the most important money lessons begin. Working hard and still falling behind. For years, Daniel believed he was doing everything right. He woke up early. He showed up on time. He stayed late when necessary. He told himself the same story millions of people tell themselves. If I work hard enough, things will eventually get better. And yet, every year felt strangely heavier. Not dramatic, not catastrophic, just heavier. His salary increased slightly, but never enough to feel progress. Rent rose faster. Daily expenses quietly expanded. Life kept asking for more. Daniel wasn't irresponsible. He wasn't lazy. He was trapped in a system where effort did not automatically equal advancement. And the most dangerous part was this. From the outside, his life looked fine, which made it harder to admit that something was wrong. There is a specific kind of stress that doesn't cause panic attacks. It causes numbness. Daniel felt it every evening, after dinner, after scrolling, after another day that looked exactly like the one before it. He wasn't drowning, but he wasn't swimming either. He was floating. And floating feels safe, until you realize you're being carried somewhere you didn't choose. Late at night, Daniel would think about the future, not in detail, just enough to feel uneasy. What if something went wrong? What if he got sick? What if he needed time off? There was no buffer, no margin, just hope that nothing unexpected happened. That quiet anxiety followed him everywhere. Daniel didn't wake up one morning feeling motivated. He woke up tired. Tired of guessing. Tired of avoiding his bank account. Tired of pretending that things would somehow work out. One ordinary Sunday, he sat down with a notebook. No apps, no spreadsheets, just honesty. He wrote down every expense, every subscription, every automatic payment, not to judge himself, but to understand. And something surprising happened. The fear became concrete. And when fear becomes specific, it becomes manageable. This is the first invisible rule of money. You cannot change what you refuse to see. Daniel noticed a pattern. He didn't spend recklessly when he was happy. He spent when he was tired, when he felt behind, when he wanted relief. Small purchases, convenient upgrades, temporary comfort. None of it ruined him, but all of it delayed him. That realization changed his behavior, not overnight, but intentionally. He made a quiet decision. I will stop using money to escape discomfort. He didn't become extreme. He became mindful, and mindfulness is where control begins. The gap between what you earn and what you spend decides your future. Daniel protected that gap. Even when it was small, that gap became savings. Savings became breathing room. Breathing room became confidence. For most of his adult life, Daniel lived from one paycheck to the next. Not because he wanted to, but because that was how the system trained him to think. Every decision was framed around one question: will I be okay until the end of the month? Not, will I be okay next year? Not, will this choice limit or expand my future? Just survival. And survival thinking is exhausting. One evening, Daniel realized something uncomfortable. His biggest problem wasn't money. It was time. Time was passing whether he changed or not. And if he kept making decisions only for short-term relief, the future would quietly decide itself, without his permission. That night, he wrote a sentence at the top of a notebook. What does my life look like in 5 years if nothing changes? The answer scared him. And fear, when used correctly, can be useful. Daniel didn't suddenly find a better job. He didn't get lucky. He didn't quit everything to chase a dream. Instead, he did something far less dramatic. He invested in skills, quietly, consistently, at night after work, on weekends, when others were resting. Skills that increased his value. Skills that made him harder to replace. This is an invisible money rule most people miss. Income grows when usefulness grows, not overnight, but inevitably. Each new skill gave Daniel something priceless: options, negotiation power, confidence rooted in competence. For a long time, nothing looked different. Same apartment, same job, same routine. But inside, something was shifting. Daniel felt calmer, less reactive. He stopped checking his bank balance with fear, because for the first time, he knew exactly where he stood. Progress didn't arrive as a breakthrough. It arrived as stability. And stability changes how you think. When you are no longer desperate, you stop making desperate decisions. One unexpected benefit of financial clarity surprised Daniel. His emotions stabilized. Good days no longer depended on spending. Bad days no longer triggered impulsive purchases. He began separating who he was from how much he earned. This boundary was powerful, because people who tie their identity to money make fragile decisions. People who separate the two make strategic ones. This is not about becoming cold or greedy. It's about becoming grounded. Daniel's life didn't go viral. There was no announcement, no applause. But something undeniable happened. He could breathe, he could plan, he could say no to things that didn't align with his future. That is success most people never talk about, because it doesn't look impressive, but it feels like freedom. A simple money mindset framework for real life. What Daniel learned was not a trick, it was a way of thinking. A framework simple enough for ordinary people, yet powerful enough to change the direction of a life. Not all at once, but permanently. Here is how it works, in real life, not in theory. 1. See clearly. Track without judgment. Most people avoid looking at their money because it triggers shame. Daniel learned to replace shame with curiosity. Tracking money is not about control, it is about awareness. When you see exactly where your money goes, you stop guessing. And when you stop guessing, anxiety loses its power. Clarity does not fix everything, but it gives you a solid place to stand. 2. Create margin. Protect the gap. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is not boring. It is decisive. That gap is where safety lives. It is where options are born. Daniel didn't chase a bigger income immediately. He protected a small margin first, because even a small gap changes how you think. It turns panic into patience. 3. Build leverage. Skills before shortcuts. Daniel realized something uncomfortable. No amount of budgeting could replace value. Skills create leverage. They increase your usefulness. They give you negotiating power. They open doors quietly. This is slower than shortcuts, but it is stronger. 4. Extend your timeline. Think in years, not months. Short timelines create desperate decisions. Long timelines create calm ones. Daniel stopped asking what would fix his life this month, and started asking what would improve it over 5 years. That shift changed everything, because time is the most underestimated asset. 5. Stay calm. Let emotions exit money decisions. The final rule surprised him the most. Calm is not passive. Calm is strategic. When emotions run money decisions, mistakes multiply. When calm leads, progress compounds. Daniel didn't become fearless. He became steady. And steady people win quietly. Daniel never became rich overnight, but year by year, his life moved forward. Not because he earned more immediately, but because he wasted less time, less energy, less emotional money. Freedom didn't arrive suddenly, it arrived gradually, and it stayed. If this story feels close to home, that's not an accident. Most people don't fail financially. They drift. Until one day, drifting becomes regret. You don't need a perfect plan. You need awareness. You need patience. And you need to start. If this video helped you see money differently, subscribe. Your future is still negotiable.